Let's Coach Della Major. How are you doing?
All right, Coach. How you doing?
Oh man, I am doing wonderful. Like I said, man, I wanted to dive right into today's talk
Let's
because
get
I
in it.
I know we got people from around the world checking
Yeah.
us out, and the last time you and I spoke, man, listen, it was fire.
Look, we got another topic, and I'm just telling you, it's gonna be fire again. This is one of those topics that is hot. We are
Yeah,
coming in this topic so hot that
yeah,
it's gonna be burning up. So that's all I can say because I already know it's gonna be fire. Look, let me just say this. Every time that we're on this platform, and every time we get the opportunity to talk about effective living. It's this one line in this one statement that we say all the time: nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. And when you really say nothing missing, nothing
yeah,
lacking,
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
broken, that's effective living. You're talking about
yes,
living your life on your own terms. We're talking about really pursuing after becoming the best individuals that we can.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
when we're talking about that, Coach, when we share, the power and the nuggets that,
yeah,
we share on this platform, because this is what it's all about, is
yeah,
really giving you the tools and the resources necessary to live your life, not only on your own term, effectively enough where you with confidence to say that I'm
yeah,
creating a life that I don't
yeah.
need to take a vacation from.
That is so good. That's so good. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why we exist. If you have not taken the time to go to our website
That's it.
and read this week's blog, because we're going to give you a snippet of some points
Yes.
from the blog, because here's the deal. The concept of taking control of your life demands that you chip away at a
That's
lot
it.
of things that just needs to go. Just a lot of things, a lot of behaviors that needs to go.
Mhm,
Mind renewal. All
mhm,
right.
mhm. That's
Mind
it.
renewal. Now,
That's it.
Coach Della, over the years, before we dive into our talking points, you and I, all of us, people who are watching, have all had to fight through some stuff,
That's it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One of the big struggle is the people pleasing aspect of life. Now, now when you're in elementary school, you got to please the teacher. Okay, when you get home, you got to try to please your parents, and you go to Sunday school, you got to try to please the Sunday school teacher. Oh, you got to try to please every adult when you're a child, when you walk into a
That's
room,
it.
and it's very seldom that anybody ever stop and tell you, you're aiming to please, but not at the expense of being you.
That's it. You know
Talk
what?
about
You said something very key. As a child, because see, even the Word of God tells us to approach as a childlike mindset. And
yep,
as a
yep,
child, we are open, we are loving.
yep,
A child is so loving. They believe, they're so trusting. It's
yep,
the innocence of that. And so,
yep,
because of that innocence, you do find yourself trying to please people,
oh,
please
yeah,
your parents, please a person of authority, please, like you said, your teachers. But when you become an age of accountability and an age of understanding, it gotta be a point in a time where pleasing everybody else and not taking care of self
yep,
it's not balanced. It's
yep,
unbalanced.
yep,
It's,
yep,
it's off. And the problem comes into play that we spend so much time trying to get the pats on the back,
yep,
trying
yep,
to get the acceptance of everybody, that
yep,
not only do you lose yourself,
yep,
but then you begin to put people in places that they should have never been from the
yep,
beginning. So
yep,
when you start talking about that behavior patterns and the things that we do ourselves as human chipping away, it's a lot of things that we should have never learned from the beginning. And it's
yep,
not only that, but it's a lot of things we should have never applied in
yep,
our life from the beginning. Okay, so we talk about chipping away. There's some stuff we gotta kill. That's some
yeah,
stuff we gotta cut off and
yeah,
slay. I mean, it's not a situation of chip. It's just like really take that machete and it's like, just cut it, because it hinders us. It stops us from being able to effectively live the life that we've been purposed from the birth to live. You know, a lot of times we mess up because of the fact that we put ourselves in positions we should have never been in from before. And people pleasing is right at the foundation of it.
Well, you know, after looking at this year, I know for me, I'm so much freer than I used to be, but I still got some work to do.
I do too.
Because I find myself still struggling at times, and you know, the Bible says, "Whom the Son set free is free indeed."
Free indeed, yeah.
Oh, what a feeling! Oh, what a feeling to learn self and to be okay with someone not being okay, because it's just what it is.
It's just what you just said something right there. Be okay with someone else not being okay. That means you just got to be you. And you can't be concerned or worry about if that person is gonna like what you decide about you. You gotta be okay to be okay. You gotta be okay with being uncomfortable. You gotta be okay with just being who you choosing to become.
Let's talk about these points. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've read our blog, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and this is Coach Della Major, and we're Monday nights is a conversation. Okay, we've been doing these conversations, and we're live on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, please share. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Twitter, retweet this all live and let somebody watch it. And if you're on LinkedIn, thank you for joining. Here's what I know. One basic truth given to you today can change your life forever. Every day is an opportunity for you to learn. Every day, one basic truth can change your life forever. Now, somebody said, well, y'all talk for a while. Well, the truth is, you don't need to grab a hold of everything we say. You need to grab a hold of what the Holy Spirit is speaking to you that's for you from what we say.
That's it.
Eat the watermelon, spit out the seed. Everything's not for you, but something is. And let me tell you something, you're tuning in for a reason. Okay, you've heard the term creating a life you don't need a vacation from. You've heard the term nothing missing, lacking, or broken. Well, here's the deal. You're going to have to decide to do the work to become that person. Oh, my goodness, deserving. Because, you know, become that person deserving of nothing missing, lacking, or broken. With that said, we're going to dive into about 10 practical truths on your journey, reasons you may identify yourself as a people pleaser, and some of the things you're going to have to do to break that. Somebody got to know you got to have to break some things. You're going to have to unlearn some things you should have never learned in the beginning. And let me tell you something, greater is he that is in you than is he that is in the world. So you are capable. Somebody said, Miller, this is hard. I know it's hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But you want to be a part of the 1%. You want to be a part of the narrow way. You want to be a part of the nothing missing, lacking, or broken community. It's called effective living. Coach Della, you got the points? You want us to dive into those points? Once again, we're talking about 10 reasons you may be identified as a people pleaser. Now, here's the deal. We'll highlight why we believe this is a people pleasing position, and then maybe some of the things that you can do to move yourself away from these behaviors. Let's dive in.
Okay, let me get on to number one. Here we go. You want to avoid conflict. Let me tell you. There's going to be, we started this off by saying there's going to be individuals who just not going to like what you do. It could be something what you say. There's people who just don't like what you got on. You know what? There's just people who just don't like you, not because of anything you've done, just because. And there's no excuse for it. But that's just the one part. But conflict in life, learning, and in living, you're going to have a disagreement. You're not going to agree all the time. The question is not so much as if you're going to have a conflict. The question is how you deal with the conflict. And so oftentimes when you are a people pleaser, the reason why you avoid conflicts is because of the fact you're trying to make sure that you don't get in a disagreement. You just want to be, you want everybody to like you. You don't want to get into, got to see a conflict. You're going to say, oh man, I don't want that person to leave, or I don't want that person to be mad at me. I don't want that individual to don't like me. See, when you're a people pleaser, you expect everybody to like you. Let me clear you up on that certain terminology. There is going to be something with somebody going to dislike about you, whether you do everything right, whether you dot all the I's, cross all the T's. You could be perfect, and somebody going to find something wrong. That's a conflict. The question is not whether or not you're going to have a conflict. It's how you handle the conflict. There's going to be moments it's going to be all right that somebody don't like you. You got to take care of you.
How do you handle the conflict? Okay, conflicts are coming.
Yeah, they can come.
Conflicts are coming. Or I don't like conflicts. Well, a lot of us don't like conflicts, and I'm not telling you go look for conflict. I'm telling you can't avoid conflict. And if you're trying so hard to avoid conflict that you are now not creating yourself a lane in this world, you're not being who you are, then you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You got to know that sometimes it's okay for us to agree to disagree.
Disagree.
It's okay for us to agree to disagree. You may not like my preference. I may not like your preference, and that's okay. And that's okay. And a lot of people haven't gotten to that place, to the point where they realize, that's just not my cup of tea. Or he or she may not be, I may not be who they desire to deal with. And that's okay.
Yeah. And, let me throw this also in there, Coach. When you're dealing with insecurity or self-esteem issues, that's another sign of being a people pleaser. Because see, the thing about it is, it's you yourself. If you don't like you, then more than likely you're gonna make sure that everybody else like you. Because see, you need that assurance. You need that self-structure. So that's another reason why you try to avoid it, is because you're already trying to tear your own self down. So you don't need nobody else. So you'll try to please everybody because you need that self-assurance.
Wow.
You need to be able to say, oh, somebody like me.
Wow.
Because you're dealing with your own insecurities, because you finding flaws within yourself. Let me tell you this. I am not perfect. And the moment that you begin to realize that you're not perfect, that you got pimples, you got something imperfected on you, and accept yourself for who you are, your lack, the things that you can't do, then that's when you understand you'll be able to please yourself versus struggling and challenging, try to please others.
Wow. That connects itself with number 2, which is your fear of rejection. I mean, that self-esteem section is built right into the fear of rejection. And low self-esteem is real. Okay, you've not esteemed yourself enough. You've not encouraged yourself enough. You've not believed in yourself enough. So now you have this fear of rejection where, oh my goodness, they said no to me. Somebody's going to say no to you. Somebody is not going to go with the offer that you're presenting. If somebody said, hey, I don't want to do life with you. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to worship with you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you feed yourself and say, hey, I may not be their cup of tea, but I'm not going to reject me. I'm not going to reject me. And so why am I dreading coming out of bed? Why am I dreading showing up and giving myself of service to humanity because somebody choose? When it comes to this fear of rejection, you go into business selling fried chicken. Somebody walks in, they look at the menu and say, nah, we're going to go over to Pizza Hut. Somebody, if you close your store because somebody looked at the menu and decided to go to Pizza Hut, you shouldn't have, you don't deserve to be in business. The reality of it is everybody is not going to be into your fried chicken.
That's it.
Everybody's not going to be. So the whole concept, listen, let me tell you, Miller, I fear rejection. And I think all of us to some degree struggle with that at some point, but you got to
Yeah.
grow out of that. You got to develop yourself out of that. And it don't have to stay that way. If it
Yes.
was your way, you can learn how to get out of that way.
You know what? Another root cause of rejection is abandonment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you feel that sense of being abandoned, left alone, isolated. Because another thing that causes rejection is the isolation and people
Yeah.
thinking, oh, nobody wants, nobody this. And so
Yeah.
you tend to want to pursue out the individuals that never was good for you from the beginning. And so
Wow.
what happens is being a people pleaser, when you connect yourself to the wrong person, you trying to avoid being rejected, but then you causes yourself to be abandoned and
Yeah.
rejected even more because you begin to realize, oh wow, this person never was for me from the beginning. But then
Right.
now, like you just said, you never left a way out. And so now you feel stuck. And so you keep repeating that cycle of rejection, that cycle of abandonment, and then you
Yeah.
keep doing that to be a people pleaser because you said I would rather have somebody than
Yeah.
nobody. And
Wow.
that's a false sense of reality.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a negative mindset that you
Yeah.
have to get rid of. Understanding that you're never alone. Understanding there are just some people who just not good for you. And that
Wow.
feeling sense of rejection comes from a root. And that
Yeah.
root oftentimes is abandonment.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about, 10 reasons you may identify yourself as a people pleaser. And now let me tell you this. If you're wanting to live your best life, you're going to have to get past this.
You got to get past it.
It may be more difficult for some than others. And I know there are some people who, people pleasing ain't your thing.
Yeah.
From you in elementary school, you had confidence like a rock. That's not me. That wasn't my thing. I was a people pleaser. I mean, like, you can't imagine how much of a people pleaser I was. And let me tell you something. Even as an adult, I'm 47 years old, and I still struggle with people pleasing. And I have to remind myself there is a level of pleasing that is necessary for coexisting. Okay,
Yeah.
there is a necessary pleasing. You want your boss to feel good about what the value you bring to the table. You want your spouse to feel good. You want your friends to feel good.
Yeah.
You want the membership that you're a part of to feel good about you being there and the value you bring to the table. But please know, in your journey to doing life, you're going to meet some people you just can't please. You just can't please. Hey, there's some people who can't be pleased by you because you know why they can't be pleased by you? They've already established a belief about you before they even got to know you. Hey, it's the people. Oh, I don't ever want to go to China. You ain't never been to China.
Yeah, you know nothing about me. You know nothing about my culture, my future, who I am, but you just automatically make a decision.
So here's the deal. To lose sleep because someone is not feeling you is really a lack of development in self. Let's go to number 4.
Now this one here, number 3.
Yeah. Number 3.
You fear disappointing others.
Wow.
In this year, really, I could say the end of 2021, because this year I done perfected it. I done perfected the word no. At 2021, I'm telling you, I was so caught up on not saying no to everybody to the point I burned myself out. Why? Because I was so, it's just a fear of not disappointing nobody. Because I was like, my word is my bond. And, I have to do it. And, people who know I'm a servant, I got to serve it hard. It's like, well, maybe I can try. And go. And I struggled and I burnt myself out to the point that it didn't bring no value to me.
Wow.
I'm the one sick. I'm the one ill. I'm the one tired, fatigued. The other person happy, satisfied. It got to the point, Coach, that they had a level of expectation that when I couldn't do it, so you couldn't do it. Why? I don't understand. You can't squeeze me in. No, it's not that. And I call myself making excuses. That was crazy. I'm making excuses just so I can not feel like I'm disappointing somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
Then I got that revelation
yeah,
that I can't please everybody. That that's not, that's gonna be people. My no is just gonna be no. So when
yeah,
I perfected no in 2022, woo, I had a lot of people not happy. But
yeah.
you want to know what happened? I wasn't sick either. So
Right.
I had to get rid of
Ooh,
the fear of not disappointing any others because I was stressing myself out, making
yeah,
myself become more ill. So that fear of disappointing others, let me tell you, you're gonna do something and it's just not gonna happen. Look,
yeah,
there's gonna be somebody that's gonna disappoint you. The question is how you handle that
yeah.
disappointment.
Wow. Wow. Woo! I like the fact that you said the whole concept of no and how people oftentimes will come up with being disappointed with it. But I've been teaching the last couple of years because I've had to learn how to do that as well. And I said there is an anointing on no.
Yes,
There is an anointing. Literally, it's a yoke destroying, burden lifting. You know what I'm saying? Power of God built into a no. And I'm not trying to be mean, disgusting, or hurt you by any means. But there comes a time I need to say no. And here's the deal: there are a lot of people who struggle with saying no.
Yeah.
I struggle with saying no for the longest. I found out though, when you put no in its appropriate place, you do better in life. Let me say that again. When you put no in its appropriate place, you do better in life. Now, I don't know about you. Effective living is all about doing better in life. So if you don't know how to say no, chances are you'll never live effectively. Ooh.
But you know what? That is something that is not just a behavior that
Yep.
you just say, oh, I'm just going to say no. No,
Yep.
it is a learned behavior because we are in that condition of just trying to make it fit or
Yep.
make things work. But
Yep.
sometimes you just said it.
Yep.
That no can save you from a
Yep.
lot of harm.
Yep.
Holy Spirit
Yep.
that lives
Yep.
on the inside of you
Yep.
gives you what we call that discernment.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that discernment kicks in when something ain't right. And
Yep.
oftentimes, when you got a level of discomfort, and when you not inside your spirit, something just ain't settling right. That's that no that you need to say because he already knows that if you say yes to that, you
Come
could
on.
be bringing on more stress, more
Yep.
pain. You can cause more problems. And so
Yep.
now it'll cause you to have to dig yourself out even
Yep.
further. So you just said effective living, the
Yep.
no being placed in the right place
Right.
at the
Yep.
right time, at the
Yep.
right moment can save your life.
Yes, it sure can. Let me say this too for somebody. No has many forms of being delivered.
That's it.
Become skilled in identifying the different forms on how to say no.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
No is also built into ignore.
Ooh.
Hey, to
Ooh.
ignore is another form of no.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's another form of no. Another form of no is when your response comes rather than saying no, because sometimes we live in a very dictatorial. I don't know if I can use that word. Culture and environment where some
Mhm.
people at their title
Oh,
they
yes.
they don't understand the term no is offensive to them
Yes.
because they want their title to their head.
Yes.
Right? So you can't say no to them directly. And somebody says, well, who kind of people are those? There's a lot of people.
Oh, it's a lot.
Law enforcement don't want you to say no to them.
That's it.
Teachers don't want you to say no to them.
That's
Pastors
it.
don't want you to say no to them.
That's it.
Sometimes managers, leaders, sometimes don't want you to say no to them. Sometimes spouses don't want you to
Don't want
say
you
no.
to say no. Yes.
The term no can be offensive to some people because they got that kind of control. I don't know. No is just too strong for them. So rather than giving a direct no, I'm helping somebody today.
Yes, you are.
And you can't use my first term is ignore. That won't work. Here's another one you can use. Unfortunately, I can't. That's still a no.
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately, I'm not available. Unfortunately, not today. Unfortunately, hey, can you pick me up at 7? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. Unfortunately is a subtle no.
It's a subtle no. And you know something? I like how what you just said, because no even has a certain body language,
Come
because you
on, yeah,
just did it.
yep,
Unfortunately, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that
yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
making it feel. But if you come like, no,
yeah, yeah.
no,
Yeah, you can burn a bridge down and
you
doing
can
that.
burn a bridge. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
because there are ways in which you can say no. But you
yeah,
know, when we talk about that sense of entitlement,
yeah,
it's been embedded in certain people's minds who have a level of authority,
yeah,
that I'm the person that's in power. I'm
yeah,
the person that is in charge. So for you to tell me no,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
no, that's not acceptable, because
yeah,
they've been raised up like a person like a Donald Trump, who've been
yeah,
raised
yeah,
from a child that they're entitled to whatever.
yeah,
So a
yeah,
person like that with that type of personality, no,
yeah,
it's like a almost, it's like you eating rat poison or something.
yeah,
But there are ways, like you said, by
yeah,
which do say that. And even in my particular case with my former pastor, I had to say, you know what, I am just so sorry. We wasn't able to get that done. You know, it's out of our control. It's like we tried. And the reason why, because when you're dealing with technology,
yeah,
technology is out of your control. And
yeah,
we've had some technical issues. And so some things, you know, you don't want to happen, but it
yeah,
happens. And so you
yeah,
have to come back and say, unfortunately, due to technical issues, we're not able to do this one
yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah.
That,
And let me tell you, I had to, because I found myself, I'm a person in authority and unauthority, and that's why I really tell people, become tactful in your no. Use a strategy with your no. Don't just abruptly give no straight across the board.
mhm.
And how did I came up with that conclusion? Because I felt the pain of someone saying an abrupt no,
uh,
and I felt that I wanted to get offensive, and they had a right to say no.
yeah. Right.
But that's what I realized. No can be delivered in many forms that doesn't have to burn bridges and
Yeah.
bring about offense.
Yeah.
And so you said something just now. The posture. Sometimes even talking to a person on the phone, your posture comes out in the form of you're on the phone with them, and you got your phone, and just the oh
Yeah.
my wow, I am so sorry, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to
Yeah.
today. I mean, man, thanks for asking me to be a part or to have the opportunity to do this, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to. Maybe early next year. But man, keep up the great work you're doing. You're
Hey,
awesome. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
so now that I can receive,
Yeah, is it?
that I
Yeah,
can receive.
yeah,
But
yeah.
somebody, no, I'm just sorry. I just can't do it. Not today. Not today.
Hey, hey, you hang up that. Hey, you hang up that phone and say,
Right.
Bridgeburn blocked.
Hey,
In. So you could hurt yourself by
yeah, you
saying
really
no
can.
wrong, but you have to learn how to say no.
Ah, so good.
Now, now there are some people who don't know how to take any forms of no, and those people are really toxic.
Yeah.
And in that case, you
Yeah.
just need to bite the bullet and say
Yes, ma'am.
that bridge just need to go. Because let me
Yes,
tell you
ma'am.
something: nobody needs to have a level of
That's
control on
right.
you to
Simple
the
as that.
degree that you can say
Right.
no when you
Right.
need to say no.
That's it. That's
Tell
it.
them you heard it on Effective Living. Okay,
That
let that part of
another
this
word on
message
the face
go
of it
viral.
by Coach Ricardo Miller and Coach Della Major, because that's a snippet
Woo!
on it. Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah,
I've had to
yeah,
tell a couple people, so I'm like, okay, note
yeah,
to self.
yeah,
This is it. Get through with
yeah,
this. Note to
yeah,
self. Not again.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This person can take a no, and this person is a little bit too pushy, a little bit too forceful, and that's not going to work. Let's go to the next one.
Let's go.
Okay. Number 4 is you want something in return, meaning you're a people pleaser because hidden below what you're doing is there are a lot of people who, hey, because of what I did for you, you should be doing for me. And I'm trying to please everybody. So when I call you, you better show up for me. Oh, it don't work that way. It don't really work that way. You know, you're gonna lose if that's what you're doing your service for. I'm gonna try to please everybody. So when I call people, you'll be disappointed. Because you haven't met those people, Coach Della, who said, man, I did so much for so many people. And when I try to reach back up to them, they didn't do anything for me. Guess why? Because that's not why you should do something for someone.
All the time. You know
I,
what?
you know, you
That's
do
very
what you.
dominant in that's very dominant in ministry, unfortunately.
Wow. Break that down for me a little bit. Go ahead.
You know what? That's very dominant in ministry because oftentimes, like I said, people know you servant or you have the what you might say the end being in the nose like that. You know, you have a position of favor. That's where I want to go. When you know they know you have a position of favor, you know they only around you. So what they can do, the status they can receive, the status they can receive, the opportunity that they think that they're going to be able to get. So when they know you in charge of something and you know you're there, then it's like, oh, okay, I know her. I should be able to get in. So then when they're not able to get in, the first thing they're like, oh, so I'm not, you know, you can't move me to the front of the line. No, do you see everybody else that's sitting here? But because of the fact that they did something from before, they're expecting a reciprocation. So also the only reason why you was helping me and helping me and serving with me was because you know I know the pastor or I know the person that's in charge. So you thought you'll be able to get to the front of the line because of that reason. See that those hidden jewels start coming out. Also, that's the only reason why. So you only pleasing me because of the fact of what you would think that I can do for you. And that's one of the main things that I have experienced in certain roles and position of leadership when you are in ministry. Certain people's only, they want to carry your bag. They want to, you know, they want to be your armor bearer. They want to always be there. Why? It's because of the fact that what they think they're going to get. And so when they don't get it, the next thing you know, is something always to turn. So they overplease based on what they think they're going to receive.
Wow. And that's why I'll teach. I'll teach this to everybody. And you do what you can to people when you can, but you don't hold anything should they can't do something in turn for you. I think it's around motive. And motive is a subject we're going to talk about one of these times on the show. You know, I believe that the world is filled with incredible people, but you got to make sure that your motive is right. And I remember, I don't know if you've heard me say this a dozen times, if not more, someone is assigned to help you. And I remember, and I own that statement. I really, really believe that statement. But then watch this, the Holy Spirit said, balance it up so people don't get it twisted. Just as much as someone is assigned to help me, I'm assigned to help someone. Right? But here's the deal. It may not be the same person.
That's right.
It may not be the same person. I helped the guy this morning at the grocery store. Somebody may help me this evening at Starbucks. Somebody may help that not because I helped the lady at Starbucks means that tomorrow when I see the lady at Walmart, she's obligated to helping me. No. That's not. If you try to live that way, you're going to be disappointed and your heart is going to become hardened because you're going to build up offense. Offense is going to come from the fact that, oh my Lord, I did this for Della. I did this for Ricardo. And you know, and they didn't do nothing. Hold on. Why did you do that for Della? Why did you do that for Ricardo? You see, and you're going to hurt yourself because your motives are wrong. And I'm not saying I sow seed for a return. I do, but it may not be. Watch this. I sow seed for a return, but it may not be from the same tree that I sowed the seed from. I just know that return is coming back to me. And when I pray, I say, God, help me to sow good seeds in the earth so that I'm never short on seed.
That's it.
So however you want to bless me, go ahead.
There's a seed time of harvest. There is a seed time of harvest. And even the word of God teaches us about sowing a seed, blessing, you know, being a cheerful giver. The question comes into play is, are you trying to be a people pleaser? Like you said, that word motive is really the root here. Are you trying to be a people pleaser in this case because of what you think you're going to be able to get back in return? Because if you sowing from a giving heart,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
not enough.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
that's seed time heart. There have been some messages, words, or blessing that God had moved me. And it's like, plant a seed, get this
Yep.
person. And I
Yep.
just do it just because
Yep.
I don't expect it, any
Yep.
return or whatever. The Lord
Yep.
moved me. But
Yep.
I understand that seed that I sown to that individual, if it's
Yep.
been moved by me by God, that I know he said, I can't beat his giving, that he gonna
Yep.
give me that 30, 60, 100 fold. And I'm expecting the time a return on my harvest. I'm
Yep.
not expecting a return from the individual that I'm sowing the seed to, because I'm planting that seed. There's a
Yep.
seed time and harvest time. And at the
Yep.
harvest, I know that God is going to reward me for whatever the labor and the service that God told me to do.
Yep. Totally. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about being a people pleaser. And the truth is, on your journey to living life effectively, you don't want to be a people pleaser to the degree that it is hurting you. And the main point here, it is hindering you from becoming the best version of yourself. You don't have what you should have because you've been trying to please people who have been using you.
That's it. Come on.
You've been trying to help people who have been using you because you haven't learned how to say no, and you have not developed a level of self-awareness to where it's okay if they're not pleased with you, because you had to take a stand. I love what Coach Della said just now. She learned how to say no in its appropriate places and found that she was feeling better this entire year, because she didn't allow herself to let the opinions of people requests overtake her, only to be the one losing at the end of the. Let's go to the next point.
Yes, let's get this one. This one here. You want others to be nice to you.
Wow. Right?
Yeah. I will tell you.
Go ahead.
I will get this real quick. This one here, if I could say, in the midpoint of all the ones we just went over, this one is mine.
Wow.
I was, because I struggled with just having friends.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was willing enough to be a people pleaser, just so I could have somebody just to be nice, just to be kind. Because I at least rather say, I didn't want to be just by myself. So I wanted to have a friend or two. So I was doing everything I can to be nice, just so somebody can say that either I was nice or they'll try to be some of my friends. So I was always like, you need something? Is there something I can do for you? Oh, what can I help you with? I mean, just why? Because I needed to, oh, you're so kind. You're so good. Thank you. Look, I found that the hard way. People don't have to be nice to you. They don't have to acknowledge you. Because when the one time that person was walking down the hall, and I just I know she saw me, so she ain't gonna say nothing to me. I got so offended. And then I brought it, I was like, oh, telling all about it. The individual was like, I didn't even see you. My mind was focused on something else. And I'm running her down from A to Z. People don't have to be nice to you. They don't have to be kind to you. They don't have to overextend themselves to you. But if you're nasty, what are you doing?
Yep. I love that statement. People don't have to be nice to you. Boy, is that liberating. Here's why it's liberating, guys. It's liberating, one, so that when people are nice to you, you can appreciate them.
Yes.
Really didn't have to be nice to you. And then when somebody isn't nice, you just keep it moving as fast as possible, because now you could move on to the next location, because you have options, and you could say, okay, now that I have options and this person isn't as nice as I think they could be, I'm not going to deal with them because I have options. But here's the deal. People don't have to be. But here, you trying to make people nice to you will cause you to lose. Nice people are going to be nice.
Nice people are going to be nice. It's part of their DNA.
It's their DNA. Yeah. It's part of it. And so what you want to do is, here's the deal. You want to be nice, but not at the extent of you losing yourself and finding yourself hurt angry,
Yeah.
disgruntled, just feeling abused. And Coach Della, there are so many people who feel abused. Let me tell you something. I was trying to be the nice guy on so many levels, and there are some toxic spaces out there. There are some very, very unhealthy people out there in that of how they do things. And if you don't know how to stand up for yourself and realize this is not the moment for nice, but this is the moment for firm. This is the moment for clarity. This is the moment for drawing the line. Okay?
You just threw out a word that is key here in this conversation. There's a moment and a time to be firm.
Firm. Yeah.
Firm is not rude, people.
Say it again. Say it again.
Firm is not rude. You know what I'm saying? Firm is just being, it's your non-negotiable. It's just it. Firm is your non-negotiable. It's the point and that position that you've taken to say, this is my bottom line. It's just my non-negotiable. That's not me being rude. It's just that this is what I'm willing to accept or what I'm not willing to accept. There's a way I can present that, of course. But still, if I'm just saying, this is it, it's it. It's not me being rude. It's not me being not nice. This is just my non-negotiable. That's it.
Yeah. And here's the deal. It's a beautiful thing to get to a place where you have non-negotiables.
Yes.
Okay? It's a beautiful thing. To not have non-negotiables is to not have your own life. You're a slave.
That's
In
it.
other words,
You're a slave.
You're a slave. You have to. And that's not effective living. You want to have non-negotiables. You know, and when you find that the line is being, you've drawn the line and the people are ignoring the line, then you say, you know what, I may need to choose to move myself out of this atmosphere, this presence, or disconnect myself from this person, group, or thing. Because at the end of the day, the line has been drawn and this person is moving to violate my line.
And you want to know something else, Coach? It teaches people about who you are, what kind of person that you are when you have those non-negotiables. So even before they begin to approach you with a situation, because they know what your non-negotiable are, what you firm about, then they won't even bring it to you from the beginning. So but when you're people pleasing and you yourself adjust your non-negotiable to fit somebody else, then you teaching somebody that you are unstable. You're a double-minded person. You got to be able to know what your no is. You got to be able to stand firm on what you're willing to accept and not accept. So trying to please others or be nice, others to be nice to you and all that other stuff. Look, let me tell you this, because I'm firm on my non-negotiable. That's not me being rude.
Right.
That's me just being really nice. But I mean, you understanding this is what I'm willing to accept and not accept. But if you don't accept it, that's not on me. That is on you.
On you. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here on Effective Living. You got to know. You got to know. And that's the reason why you have to study to show yourself approved. You got to make sure that the position to which you're standing up on is not an emotional one, but it's very sound and it's healthy and it's necessary and you're wanting the best life, and the best life is going to come from you assessing what's right and what's wrong. And let me tell you something. You'll know them by their fruits. Your fruit is going to reveal who you are. Okay? And you say, I don't like where I am. Then maybe you need to look at what you've been doing up to this point. And if you've been trying to be nice to people to ensure that, you know, with the wrong motives, and you have not gotten to the place where you can now stand with the understanding that I have to learn how to take a stand. And there are people who will be attracted to me for having had a stand. For, you know, they love the fact. I love people who have order in their life. I love people who are precise. I love people who are focused. I love people who are disciplined. I love people who have a plan. Okay, I love people who know what their non-negotiables are.
That's
Okay,
it.
let's go over two more, and we're gonna close our show.
All right now. You want to fit in.
Oh man. Mm. Oh man.
Let's take that because I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. Okay, let me jump in on that one. Fitting in, man. Fitting in. I still struggle with that to this day. I still struggle with. I'm doing so much better. And let me tell you something. In the world, there's 8 billion people on the planet, and everybody got an opinion, right? Everybody. Yeah. They say the most cheapest thing on the planet is an opinion. Okay.
That is
everybody got one. All right. But here's the deal. What you need to do is you got to know you. And what I did was growing up for the longest, even in church work, even in because human beings are social creatures, right?
Yeah.
And we wonder why we're not in the clique, the so-called clique, and the cool group, and so forth. And then I had to learn. I'm so grateful for where I am, Coach Della, because I'm like, listen, if you don't want to invite me in the room, I'll create my own room. If you don't want to invite me to the table, I will build my own table. Somebody said, look at him. I don't like him. He's so cocky and arrogant. Let me tell you something. Everybody who had a table, they had to choose to decide to build a table. And now people who are building rooms because they needed a room to bring others in. You just got to decide, I'm not going to sell my soul to try to get at a table. I don't want to fit into the extent that I don't even know how to be me no more.
You just see, that's it. When you're trying to fit in, you're trying to become something that you're not, then you really look foolish. I'm just going to, let's just get down to the bottom line. You don't want to look foolish. Because then what you're doing is, it's like a piece of a puzzle. When you try to make a piece fit into something that just don't fit, you then fool. It just don't work. And so the thing about when you try to fit into somewhere and you don't even have what it takes to be even in that crowd. Look, when I was in high school, you know, there was the it crowd and the crowd. I was part of the crowd. I never was part of the it crowd. One, I didn't have the long flowing hair. Two, I didn't have what you might say, the good clothes and the high fancy price clothes. I lived in low income, inner city, West Side Chicago. I was barely trying to have food on the table. So I didn't have the name brand items or anything like that. I know my clothes was clean. I know I had on shoes. I know I had on a shirt. Now, my hair was long. My hair didn't have the fancy hairstyles that most of the people had. I just know my hair was in a ponytail, or some days my mother combed it, and there's days I had to comb it. Look, I didn't fit in that crowd. You know why? Because of the fact I didn't look like it. Now, me trying to fit in that crowd, which I did try to do, made me stand out even more. And it made people look at me more. And I gave them the ammunition to talk about me more. Why? Because I didn't have what they was having. I was the one that stood out. I was the one that was the joker because I was on everybody's joke. And it took one person who befriended me of the in crowd to tell me, girl, let me tell you about it. Until she said something, I'm thinking I'm all that. And the reality is I wasn't. I was the butt of the joke. So when I really realized that, why am I trying to hurt myself? Because that's what I was doing, trying to fit in them. That's when I decided, you know what? If I can't be them, I'm going to beat them instead of be them. So so I took this attitude, and it's like now I was ready to want to fight all the time. It didn't benefit me till I realized just be you.
Wow.
And when I started just being me, I gained a whole different group of people that I like better.
Yeah.
So why am I going to fit in to stand out to be ridiculed? It just don't fit. And when the puzzle don't fit, stop it. Be yourself.
Wow. For me, Coach Della, I found myself wanting to fit in so bad that I faked it. That I faked it a long time, man. Mm-hmm. I would go above and beyond to just try to fit in. Just above and beyond. And I'm telling you, I made so many dumb mistakes over the years because I was trying to please everybody and didn't realize some of those people I was trying to please were using me.
See?
Okay? They were using me. They saw, I was not the butt of the joke. I was the resource center.
Mm.
And as soon as I learned how to have my own priorities, I became a problem. You know, hey, listen, I served faithfully in an organization. I served faithfully in an organization for 7 years. I mean, travel at my own expense and did all kinds of stuff for this organization. And I realized, you know what, I was making some adjustments with my space and where I was going with my life. And I sent in a resignation letter saying, hey, unfortunately, the first of the year, I honorably finished my year. I'm going to transition and I'm resigning from my position because I don't do this type of work anymore. And I would love to set the platform up or the service or the group up that I was in charge of to be able to continue to succeed in my absence. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the organization. Thank you for allowing me to bring my expertise to the table. What an incredible 7 years it has been. I got an email back said noted.
Noted. That's just it.
Noted. 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 Now I said noted for 7 years. Noted. The devil, not thank you for your service. We appreciate. You think I got one call? It's been about 2 years now. You think I got one call from a person from that entity yet? You think I got one? I've now here's the thing. I'm not mad. I'm not sad. Here's the thing about it. I teach about everything. My life is an open book. I ain't got no elephant in the closet, no skeleton in the closet, no elephant in the room. Everything is all on the table. Let me tell you something. That was wrong at the highest level. I am now a guy who have had the privilege of working with a lot of people. And I'm trying to learn how to stay connected to the people who have added value to me. So somebody may say, Millie, you made that type of mistake before. But here's what I'm trying to do, Coach Della. When someone tells me they can't and they no longer can ride, run, or roll with me, hey, man, thank you so much, man. We are friends for life. Thank you for your contribution. You're amazing. I could not have done what I was doing for 7 years without you. Man, listen, hats off to you. Please note, listen, God ain't done with us yet. We may not be on the same board, organizational team, but guess what? We are kingdom brothers and sisters, and we're going to keep moving forward. There's no bad blood between us. Let me tell you something. Growing trees lose leaves. The leaves on the tree still does what they do. The leaves that fall on the ground, they're doing something too called mulch. Their purpose is still alive in their new season for where they are. I shouldn't be mad at you. You shouldn't be mad at me for having made a decision to not want to fit in anymore.
Noted. I'm done with that.
Noted. That's the truth. Noted.
Bye-bye.
Hey, hold on. I resigned another group. I resigned another group. This is the truth. I resigned another group. All I saw is, when you send somebody a text message and you send them it and you could see on WhatsApp, it shows you the 2 blue check mark. That means they see the message.
Yes.
I got to see the message, but no response. No response. Because some people you can't say no to. Some people, they want you to fit in under their umbrella and their reasonableness for how this table is supposed to function. If you're going to be at my table, you got to function. You got to kiss the ring.
My way.
Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. I said, listen.
You say kiss the ring? No. No.
You got to kiss the ring. You got to kiss the ring. And there are places where you got to kiss the ring. And I'm like, I ain't kissing no more ring. Okay, I'm 47 years old, and God has given me the ability to build a table, and nobody got to kiss no ring for me. God has given me an opportunity to build rooms, and they can choose to come in and out when they want to in those rooms, because this is a new hour, this is a new season, this is a new time, and the way we have dealt with people in times past, a lot of it has been wrong. A lot of it is wrong. And there are a lot of hurting people out there because they've been done.
That's it. That's the result of doing things like that, like what you just said, noted. That's the result. A lot of hurting people. And then unfortunately, if they don't know how to recover, if they're not in the right headspace, hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah. And so we're gonna close it out with this. And today, let's close it out with this because I want people to know our goal is to help you tap into you being free.
Yeah.
You being free. I'm not trying to do anything for me. I'm trying to do everything that God is calling me to do in being responsible as a communicator, as a coach, as a leader, as an influencer to help people find themselves as I had to do the work to find myself. And that's who follow my platform. The people who say, you know what, I feel the voice of God in this season as to what you bring to the table, Miller, with this effective living is speaking to me. And I'm like, hey, one day it's not going to speak to you. And that's okay. In this season, you're connected to me. In another season, you might be like, you know, that guy used to be very instrumental in my life, but man, we've not been on the same run. That's okay, because here's the deal. Pastor Daniel, my pastor, our founding pastor at my church says that he said people come in your life for a reason, season, or eternity. And my statement of truth that I wrote in my book, Coach Della, was and is, watch this, I am the collective contribution of a lot of incredible people who have made me who I am today. So I'm eternally grateful for everybody. The people who have been in my life for a week, a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 45 years, I'm grateful for all. I don't have anything bad to say about anybody, but I have noticed bad in a lot of people. I'm not going to hold the bad that I've seen in a lot of people to tarnish my heart. I'm going to stay free. Because it is in guarding my heart, I'm able to continue to help humanity. Because I ain't mad at the people who didn't do me right. But please note, I'll be teaching about the people who didn't do me right.
Well, the word of God tells us to guard our heart because that's where the issue of life flows from. So as you know, God gives us instructions on how to be able to effectively live on earth in here. Remember, we're not of the world. We just pass and we live in this world. We're not of the world. And so when you really truly have that understanding, then you understand the fact about people pleasing or trying to please somebody else without really self-care or understanding the type of person that you are. Is what it is. You not only you hurting yourself, but even the more, it's not bringing you no value, no fruit. You said something key that's very important. You know, those individuals who've been part of your platform throughout the whole 25 plus years, you know, that you've been in this game. You've been in this game a long time. I know I've been teaching as a teacher in the educational field for over 30 years. And, you know, I've had the opportunity to be amongst those who I'm talking PhD scholars, individuals, and individuals who basically only had maybe a 6th grade education. It's not the fact even of my knowledge, status, or position. It's about what am I going to be able to gain learning. We talked about it earlier. In this life and living this life, you need to be a lifelong learner. You don't have it all. I don't have it all. We are not perfected. We're coaches, but we're not scientists. We're not psychics. We go through the training to be able to be a mentor, to try to help you to be your best self. And so when we're talking about this, stop being a people pleaser, the number one step I hope that you take out of this dialogue is you need to take a moment to assess who you are and be who you are. That's it. Because you can't, if you relying on getting your identity from other individuals, you will be hurt. You will find that there's going to be something missing, something lacking, and it's going to be a lot of things broken. We're talking about living a life effectively where there's nothing missing, nothing lacking, and nothing broken. And so I am just so excited, Coach, just that being part of this platform myself. You know what? I'm not coming. I haven't been here for close to the 2 years now to please anybody. But I know since I've been in this platform, I have been pleased. Why? Because I've been able to get the nutrients, the strength, the knowledge, the impartation, and the wisdom from you as my mentor, what I need to help be my best self. And that's something you've laid out from the beginning. Remember, this is a life management ministry, a life management company, and we're talking about living our life effectively each and every day.
Each and every day. You know, our good friend Billy K. Johnson says the journey is better with friends.
That's my
Okay.
girl. Yes, it
The
is.
journey is better with friends, and that's one of the things that I believe. And I'm eternally grateful, as you just mentioned, Coach Della, for the friends that I've been able to do life with.
Yeah.
And you said it right as well when it comes to the fact of us learning how to live inside out rather than outside in. And most people, they make the mistake of, and that's what I had to learn. I had to forget all of the behaviors that are happening outside. Everybody has their own little struggles, you know.
Yeah.
Someone did make a mistake and just sent me a note saying noted, and someone didn't even respond. But the truth is, I don't know what their struggles are. You know, I don't know if they were going through marital issues. I don't know if they were sick. I don't know if they didn't get the message. I don't know. But what I do know is I want to stay in the most healthiest of state. I am not responsible for their response. I'm responsible for my. Let me say it again. I am not responsible for anybody's response. I'm responsible for my response. And every day I want to show up in the most healthiest of way with a good response. May the Lord know that that is my way every day. And so as you've been watching us tonight, we want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and talk about what was your challenge or issue when it comes to people pleasing. Were you one of those people who are living outside in where all of your life is managed by the opinions of others? What would they think? Oh, they don't like me. They didn't invite me to the meeting. They didn't this. They didn't. That's when your life is living outside in. When your life is living inside out, you're okay when nobody, if everybody is frustrated, you learn how to not be frustrated, because if it ain't got nothing to do with you, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Hey, that's on them. Hey guys, we could do this forever. That's why we do it every Monday night. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're right here on Effective Living. Coach Della, tell our viewers about your book. They need to get a copy of it.
Oh, Coach, you know, I am just very blessed. And I wrote a book this year, you guys. It's called From Triggered to Transform, a journey of self-discovery and purpose. You know, in life, some of us have those scenarios and those triggers that causes us to have to make a life-changing event that causes us to have to make a transformation in our life. And for me, you know, it started with my divorce that made me have to do some reflection on the fact that what we're talking about, trying to please people, didn't know what my true identity is. I had to go through this journey of discovering who I am and what really was my purpose in life. And so in addition to that, you know, I would outline some wisdoms and some insights as I'm sharing my story and giving you just some insights on what it means to be able to discover your full potential, maximize it, and then at the same time, let go and let God to be able to transform you and to rebuild you up. And so my book is currently on Amazon. It's also on my website for purchase. And like I said, if you want to go to my website to get it, it's actually on www.youcanlive.com. Of course, again, you can also purchase it on Amazon. It's called From Trigger to Transform, a journey to self-discovery and purpose. I'm really excited about it. It's been helping a lot of individuals to really identify and know what it means to be an overcomer and how it is to, you're not broken. You just actually broke. You know.
Wow. Come on now. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, get your copy of the book. It will bless you. It's a good book to have as an end of year read or a first of the year read, and then maybe even as a group read. You want to do some group reading, study group, go ahead and copy. Coach Della Major, it's always a joy doing our show with you. Until next time, God bless you.
Yes,